Hey y'all, it is Tiffany from Mellow Vibes here, and I just wanted to talk about, I guess, how we define ourselves. It's like I feel like I always had a bunch of descriptions I could say that line up with who I am. Like I would always say singer, songwriter, poet, um, now hypnotherapist, life coach, but writer. Like I'm still working on that one. It's so weird that like I've written for a very long time. Um, I used to write short stories when I was younger, and obviously I'm a songwriter. You know, I'm a poet that involves writing. It's so weird, and maybe there's some of that like I don't know. Maybe I have my idea of what a writer is, but I've definitely like worked on full length novels, which I haven't finished. Which hopefully I am trying to work on a memoir. Slowly but surely, I've been working on it for like 3.5 years. I made a little bit of progress a few months ago, but yeah, it's so funny. Like I had this when I used to work in a restaurant in Philly, however many years ago. I was seeing this guy who worked around the corner from me, and I guess he'd been talking about me because then this guy came in, this customer, and was like, "Oh, so you're the writer? So and so told me that you're a writer." And I was just like, "Oh, I guess I am." And now it's so funny because I've been working on articles lately and trying to write one today. Actually, I have my outline done, but you know, I've been writing songs since I was 8. I've been writing poetry since I was 11. Um, you know, I have um, a ton of songs that I've written over the years, and this book of poetry that when I was 26, I like put together. Was like, I need to release a book of poetry. Like I've been performing poetry for years in different places, um, and I was like, let's put a book together. So I was 26. I was like, I'm gonna have 26 poems, or maybe I might have had 27. I think I had 20 because I was about to turn 27. So I got it done before my birthday. That was my goal. Get it done before my 27th birthday. And it features like a bunch of poems that I wrote between ages 15 and 26. And it's called Love Cycles. And it's all about, well, the cycle of love. Like the cycle of a relationship when you're like just becoming interested, when you start to fall for that person while you're in the stage where you guys are seeing each other, and then when it kind of starts to fall apart and unravel. And then it like happens again with another person. uh I mean, hopefully not, but that's usually how it goes until you get to the one. But um yeah, so that was um a really great moment in my life putting that book together. It only took me like a month and a half to put the book together. I self-published. I set up a book release party, which was so epic because it was like I said, I lived in Philly at the time, and there is an old city hall that's in my neighborhood. Like my parents are from Philadelphia, and it's like in the neighborhood of Germantown where they grew up. There's an old city hall which I've never seen anyone use, and so they were doing this thing where they were allowing you to um, uh, use the space, use certain rooms of the city hall to do whatever for free, and it was great. So I, you know, put in to do this book release party, and I had people come out and buy books, and like I performed some of the poetry, and I had some other people come and perform, and it was so amazing. And like of course I'm a writer. People like what I write, and that's why they bought my books. And um yeah, so actually one of my poems, you know, maybe I'll share a poem. So I have this one. Oh my gosh, do I want to do that one? Okay, so I could do this one that I literally start off pretty much every show that I do, even if I'm like singing most of the show and it's not like a poetry show. Even if I'm singing, like I usually start off my shows this way because it gets me like warmed up. But like I said, I started writing poetry when I was 11, and but I got into spoken word in college. And I mean, there's a difference between just reading like a standard poem and like spoken word, because spoken word, it's like you need, like, it's the performance aspect, you know. So I wrote this poem. It was like my first, what I consider my first spoken word poem that I did when I was 20. And again, I was in Philly. I didn't live in Philly, but I lived in Philly for the summer. Um, and I was going to all these places for open mics, and I kept like running into this, not even running into him, but seeing him, the same person, the same poet, over and over again. And I wrote this poem about him, and it like incorporates song into it though, and it incorporates, it's this song that I literally don't know the title of, and I remember liking it when I was like 11 years old. I remember like listening to it when I was like in summer camp. I don't know who sings it, but you know what? I'm going to do a snippet. I don't know, I'll do the whole thing. It's like super short, kind of. Okay. It's called "You Got Me." I'm just like remembering this whole thing, and I wrote it, and I was just like, next time I see him, I'm performing this, I'm gonna stare right in his face. And then when I performed it, like he was literally like 3 feet away from me, and I was just like, I can't, like I can't. But okay. Ooh, it's been a while. All I see is you and me, and all I do is think of you. You've got me perplexed, thinking about the many components that make you. See, I want to take you into my arms and maybe never let go. And that may seem a little extreme because you, I don't really know, but you got my stomach in knots. I'm seeing you in different poetry spots, and I'm thinking this is fate because you got me staying up extra late writing poetry when I gotta go to work in the morning. And I always write poetry, but you got me motivated and inspired like I've never been before. Got me writing and rhyming like, Zach, I'm gonna go to these open mics and maybe see him some more. But for real, all I really want to know is your name. To put a name to the face that sparked this flame inside of me, giving me the courage to recite my poetry. Because you got me like, damn. Look at this beautiful locked angel, because I could really be locked inside of you, angel, if you let me. But first, tell me your name, because all I see is you and me. And I don't usually speak like this, but you got me running at the mouth when I'm normally shy. And I'm kicking myself because last week I couldn't even say hi, but we were making eye contact. Or was it all in my head? Like the words of a poem that I never read, or the dreams I have when I lay in my bed. I don't know. But hopefully you can confirm my claim and tell me that you're feeling the same. But first, baby, what is your name? So I did that one. And he was right there. But I never told him, because I actually ended up talking to him after that. Not like talking to him in that way, but like correspond. And never told him that was about him. Never did. I even talked to him recently. Never told him. But anyway, um, so that actually is in Love Cycles, which I remember struggling with, like writing the ones that I considered like strictly spoken word, with putting it into a poetry book where it's like anybody can read it a certain kind of way if you're not hearing it performed. But yeah, there's a few of them in there. And so if you want to check that out, that's on mellovibes.com, because like I said, I self-published, so I have books. And that's there. I also just made a PDF version a couple weeks ago, so that it can just, you can just download it and read it right away. Like I said, there's like 27 poems. Some that I can't even, like, you know, you read stuff that you wrote and it's just like, it just takes you to that place. And sometimes I'm just like, nah, I don't want to go back to that place. But you know, like, it's about the cycle of love and the things that I've gone through and all this stuff. But I am claiming now I am a writer. I am. Um, like, writing is just something that I do and that I've done for most of my life. And it's just how I express myself. It's easier for me to do it in a way that is a rhyme scheme to it. But like I said, I did used to write short stories, so I'm trying to get back into that mode too, especially when writing my memoir. That I don't know if I'm making it a memoir. Like, it's my life, but I might turn it into a novel to do different things. Not sure yet. And the topic is like a big one. It's like the theme of my life, kind of. But yeah. Yeah, so right now I don't have any stories out, any like books, like novels, memoirs out, but I do have Love Cycles. And I do have a few, at least 3 articles written and a chapter in a book. I have a chapter in a book. Um, and so that chapter is in the book High Priestess. Again, all this stuff is on mellowvibes.com. You can get Love Cycles, the physical copy. You can order it. I will sign it or not sign it, whatever you want. You can specify. So I have the physical copy that you can get of Love Cycles. Like, it's all official with its like what do you call it? IBN number. ISBN number on the back. You can get a PDF version that you can just get immediately. You can read my articles. I have 3. You can read my chapter in the book High Priestess if you buy the entire book, which has like it's a huge book about self-love and self-care and different tips and different things and stories and great things. And you can buy the ebook version of that on mellowvibes.com as well. And or you can just get my chapter, as my chapter of that book is also part of the Selfie Project, which is about self-love and self-care and a bunch of things that I put together to cultivate that in yourself. So yeah, I write a lot. So therefore I am a writer. It's so weird. Like, what is the thing that you just don't even what is something that you can think of that describes you that you don't even, that you have trouble, I guess, like putting to who you are? Because I mean, like, there's so much, like, I know a lot of people don't like labels, but there's power in like being able to say, yes, I am that, and yes, I do that, and yes, that's a huge part of me. Because it's just so weird. You know, I would say I'm a songwriter. Writer's in it, but I just couldn't ever separate just like the writer, even though I do that too. But I'm finding confidence in that. Like, I am a writer. Yeah, I am a writer. So yeah, let me know if there's like a label that you struggled with, that like you are, that you have talent in, that you like are exceptional. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe you don't think you're exceptional. Maybe you have your own idea of what that is, but you do it, so therefore you are. Yeah. I think I had the same thing with dancer, because I'm not like this supernatural dancer, but like I have a cousin who just like will get up on stage and just do whatever, and it looks amazing. Actually, I have I was thinking about this one cousin, girl, but I have a boy cousin that is the same. He's like amazing. Like, he has like 30,000 followers on Instagram for his dancing skills. And been on TV and everything. And like, I don't have that natural ability, but like, I do love to dance, and I have danced for a long time in my life, and that's also a thing. And I used to choreograph dances all the time, and I was really good at that too. So yeah, it's so funny. Like, I guess just get rid of the idea you have of something. Like, if you do it, you do it, and that's part of who you are. Yeah, I guess that's the message. All right. Peace.